Hello viewers, it's Ultimus523 here, and welcome to Reviewed number 33. And today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Series 1.
So, Doctor Who Series 1. Well, what do I think about it? I thought it was really good. Um, it was the first time that they revived it, actually. It first aired from 1963 to 1989. That was the original showrun, and then they tried to attempt to reboot it with, or not reboot it, but more like, try again with the 1996 movie. And that was supposed to make a new show. Didn't actually happen. And so later in 2005, they actually finally figured out how to do it, and they got everyone the casting. They did a really good job casting Christopher Eccleston as Ninth Doctor. They don't actually have a well, at least when this series aired, they didn't actually have any explanation to how the Eighth Doctor got to regeneration. Um, but we do see him in the first episode, um, just like, say, he goes to a mirror and says, "Oh, could have been worse. Look at the ears." And that's a reference to a recent regeneration. I mean, it's not like an actual regeneration. It just hints that he possibly regenerated before. And so what happens is that's basically how it is. It's a new fresh start on Doctor Who. And that's why I like it. It's the first time they revived the show and really brought a new era to the show and made it good again. I mean, it wasn't a bad show before, but like they made it look modern and good and everything. And I mean, there were some audio plays and and animated adventures, animated adventure uh, episodes, like the Scream of Shalka, which was broadcast in 2003, which commemorated the 40th anniversary of Doctor Who. Um, that was really cool. I never actually saw it. I think I saw just a bit of it. But with this one, it just shows you a lot of things that you don't normally see in Doctor Who. New era, so you have a new Doctor. And they just went ahead with the Ninth Doctor. I mean, to most people that's the first Doctor they tried because most of the episodes from the William Hartnell and the Hedwig Troughton era were gone. Um, and this is the first Doctor that I was actually exposed to. I started with Chris Eccleston with Series 1, and started with Rose, and not way to Parting of the Ways. Um, Overall, I like this. I like the new series a lot better than the old series. I mean, I have no problems with the old series. I mean, at least for I've as the Doctors. I've only seen the third and fourth Doctors. A little bit. The last episode of the tenth Doctor of the second Doctor, but but like I'm on the classic era. I mean, it isn't a bad era, but this new one, starting with series 1, it really define the show as a good show. You have new special effects. The Daleks, they instead of the old show, they actually, when they shot it, it was like whoosh, and then you have a bright light and a bright white light, and then you see the guy, also the person that that they shot at, and then they just do some really dramatic acting, and they fall over, and that's them. They're just gone. But in the new series, they actually show the beam of energy coming from the weapon and hitting or zapping the person that it actually did hit. And in this time, you don't see a bright light; you just see a skeleton like X-rayed, which is better effect. Of course, the Daleks have a new voice. Nicholas Briggs provides the voice this time, and it's all modern, and they have new redesign. Everything's redesigned. Even actually, I think my favorite part of the show is the TARDIS. That is the part of the show that really makes it different. They redesigned the TARDIS to be more organic. And what I like about the new series, in particular series one, is that in the original show, I noticed that when the people go into the TARDIS box, they open the door. It looks like a dark room inside, or it looks like just dark. And then the next thing, and you see what some doors open, and then you see like this like area that looks like it's like the end of the outside world. It's really weird like that, and it doesn't even show the outside doors of the box. It looks like a part in time that they have to go through. But the new series, they didn't actually do that. They actually go for the doors, and immediately upon opening the doors, you see the interior, and you also see the literally immediately upon entering, you are in the TARDIS. And you can see it's actually the box, because they're the same shape and size and same details, the same kind of police box door shape, as the interior, as the TARDIS. I like Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. He did a good job with it. Unfortunately, that's one of the cons of the first series, is that the only thing I didn't like about the show was that she only stayed out for one series. That was the only thing I didn't like about it. Everything else was great. Everything else was amazing. It made the show good again. I mean, not saying the old show was bad. I haven't even finished the old show, but there's a lot about the new show that's really good. And Christopher Eccleston, he really brought the Doctor out and just made him good, made him a very good level character. What I liked about him is that he's just plain. His costume is plain. He just has a shirt and a jacket, and a black leather jacket. Um, and he looks kind of like a 9 if you think about it. Like you look at the shape of his body and his head. He just kind of he just shouts out 9 to you, I guess, in my opinion. I also really loved Rose. She was my favorite companion of this, at least of the Tenet era. Um, the entire Tenet era was Rose. And she first traveled with the Ninth Doctor. And honestly, it was, I mean, she's a great character. She really is. Um, just the way the way her character develops over time. She's a shop girl, and then she stumbles upon the Doctor. And it's actually a monster that the Doctor has faced before in his third incarnation, um, which was the Autons, living plastic. And this is the first adventure where he fights the Autons. And it looks like he actually came back from a recent regeneration, because, like I said before, he said remarks that oh, look, could have been worse, but look at the ears, which means he recently regenerated. Um, but honestly, I love Rose. She's just this ordinary shop girl. And she's dating this black guy, Mickey Smith, who's a very amazing character. Just himself, he develops from this character to this other character later in the show. But for the first series, it's just this wimpy kid, is what wimpy teenager who's dating Rose. Um, and I just loved it so much. Just to see Rose develop and become a character. Like, and she lost her dad, and there's an episode where she going back to stop that, but it turned out to be really really bad. So she couldn't do that. She couldn't actually meddle with time. Um, and so the entire first season is just great. You have all these new characters. You see the end of the world. You meet iconic characters like Charles Dickens. Um, and you meet new species like the no, that's not the Christmas special. You see you meet iconic species like the Slovene and the new Daleks, which have a brand new appearance. Um, but yeah, I mean, and the title sequence is amazing. A brand new title theme. You get a two time vortex, and um, just the new like the way that cast. I love how they have a new effect with the member the credits and the beginning of the title sequence. They just kind of these big letters that just go whoosh, like that, and they show you and it zooms away, or zooms past you. It's really cool. I love that effect. It's just amazing. And the Doctor Who logo, it looks like a rocket ship, which is totally cool because it's going going through space and time. Um, honestly, I mean, yeah, the title sequence is amazing. The title music is amazing. But I mean, the TARDIS itself is my favorite thing about the new show in the first series is the TARDIS. It just, and I'll say this again. If you watched I think it was episode 22 of the Madhouse, where me and the Big Dino guy talked about Doctor Who for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Um, and I talked about the fact that the ramp is my favorite part of the new TARDIS, or at least the old TARDIS in this case. Um, and I just loved it. It's just amazing. The detail they go into that. Apparently, it took them, I think it was like it was 8 weeks to make the entire set. And I mean, it's just a great design. It's my favorite design ever. I actually have a playset. If you saw my video on that. And it's just amazing. Like the characters you have Jackie, you have Rose, you have Mickey, you have Captain Jack. He's an important character. The first time you meet Captain Jack it's in the World War II, and you actually meet another monster. You meet the Child, which is basically a gas mask zombies. Which is really interesting. And Captain Jack's Harkness is a really amazing character. Like the way he brings out the role. He's the first American character on, or the first American actor to be on Doctor Who as a whole, and that's the part of the show that I loved. He comes from goes from this wartime hero who has his own time ship to becoming a guy who can't die. Later on in the show. And overall, the show was really good. I love this, and it also with a new Doctor, with a new TARDIS, you get a new screwdriver. The screwdriver is amazing. Like it makes they have a new sound effect for it, and it's a different design. I mean, it's just amazing what they do with the show. Um, and I think that the climactic part of the show is the fact that he only set up for one season, and that's where you have the big regeneration scene where um you see Nine regenerating for the first time, and he has to tell it to goodbye, and Rose doesn't understand, and he has to explain to her, and just painful to see that happen. But that's actually the first time we see regeneration in the new show. In the past we've seen regeneration, but the effect is different. But this time they extend up and they have this like really cool effect, and it's sad, but it's also amazing. Um, and he actually mentions Barcelona. He doesn't actually go to Barcelona, but he mentions it. I was going to go so many places, Barcelona, not the city of Barcelona, the planet Barcelona. And he remarks about about the dogs that don't have noses, which is I really wonder how that would play out in the new series. Like say series 10, hint hint. Um, but overall, series 1 was an amazing series. It really was. There was so much about the series I loved. You got to meet amazing characters, um, amazing aliens like the Slovene, um, re-edition of the Autons, um, you meet iconic characters like Charles Dickens. That does not happen a lot now. You meet a Dalek for the first time since the 80s, and you also see a Cyberman head, at least the original Cyberman head from the 80s, pop up, and no one recognizes it. And see what else is there? Oh, there's the Father's Day episode. That was really interesting. That was a really the monsters that in there were really creepy actually. But yeah, there's not a lot in there. Actually, there was a long game. That was a really weird. That was a really weird. Uh that was a really weird episode because you have a one-time companion on the show, and it's really weird. You have Simon Pegg on the show, and he played the editor in that episode, and it was actually really cool to see him in there. And yeah, and then also there was an oncoming joke throughout the first series. It was established in the first series, and then it became more of a question about what it means in later episodes of the show of series 2 and on. It was until series 4 they finally figured out what the what the answer was. And that was Bad Wolf, which was established. I think it was established in the. I want to say the first episode, but I think it's the second or third episode, or maybe it's the fourth episode. I think it's the fourth episode. Um, yeah, it's the fourth episode, and so that was a really it's a pivotal moment with that when they find out Bad Wolf is this satellite fireplace. And overall, it's an amazing series. I really wish Chris Eccleston had stayed longer because he did a really good job. I mean, he's not my favorite Doctor, but he's my favorite. He's the reason why the show became amazing. I mean, I mean, yes, he wasn't on for very long. He only stayed on for one series for 8 months of filming. Um, but in any case, he was a dramatically amazing actor. He brought so much to the role. I mean, Tennant brought more to the role than Eccleston, but I loved Eccleston when I first saw Doctor Who. He was He was the first Doctor I ever saw. On the show in the first series. Technically, this is actually the 27th season of Doctor Who if you count this classic series. Um, but yeah, and overall, it's a great show. I love the casting, love Billy Piper and the role of Rose Tyler. That was really amazing. Milky Smith did a great job at his performance, and overall, it's a very British show. It's really good. Just everything you think about it. The TARDIS has a new design, and it's more organic. You have lights, you have places to storage things, and you even hear reference to places around the TARDIS that actually aren't in the TARDIS, but just reference to it. Um, and overall, it's my favorite design of the TARDIS by far. I have to say it's definitely my favorite. Um, so yeah. And also one thing that's really cool is the Ninth Doctor mentions in the third episode, Unquiet Dead, um, he said he focused on the Boston Tea Party, which means that he has been throughout history. And there's actually a really cool scene where we see the Ninth Doctor in many appearances throughout time, um, meaning that he just he popped up all over the world all the time. There was a she got because Rose contacted Clive, this guy on our website, talking about the Doctor, and it was about that. It was about um seeing who the Doctor really is, and he's this alien from another world, and he's a time traveler, and he has two hearts, that kind of thing. Generally everyone knows the Doctor. But you can see him in like different settings, and he's the same man. He's the same face. No, it hasn't aged at all. Um, I mean, I did think the costume was a bit simple, but I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I think the best part about the show was the TARDIS. That was the best part about the TARDIS. The new design of it, the time rotor, everything about it. Just and the controls. In fact, the Doctor can call people from his phone on the TARDIS. That was just amazing to see. Um, so yeah, great special effects, great music, um, great acting, just overall amazing episodes, for a first series. And I just loved it. I really loved it. I loved the design of everything. The first series just brought a lot to the show. And Chris Eccleston did a great job. I mean, again, that's the only con is he didn't stay long enough, and I wish he would have stayed long enough because I really wish he at least stayed on for two series, but he did not. So that's all my only con is I wish he stayed longer. I didn't like that. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. I think I've talked about that about as much as I can for series one. Great show. It's only available in Prime, unfortunately, but it's a great show. It's a really great show. For the first series. It had a lot of things about that I liked about it. Just everything just was so fresh. It was the first Doctor I was introduced to. And it got me hooked. So yeah. I think that's about it for this episode reviewed. Um, yeah. Thanks for watching this episode. If you liked it, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I probably think I think I'll do the next step, the next series of Doctor Who next week. Because I did promise, well, I didn't promise it, but I said that I might probably do TV shows on the first episode that I recorded of this show. So look forward to that. I will go back to movies, but I take a break from movies and do some TV show reviews. So yeah. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. And I will see you next time for the next episode. Alright, goodbye.